So I've recently become unemployed, which I'm about to explain why everyone should be unemployed, because I've discovered how great it is. So basically, look, most things that are great in life are not that expensive. So you don't really need to have a lot of money. Like, look, I have this motorcycle behind me, and I also have 2 ice cream sandwiches right here. And look, it doesn't cost that much money to just buy a motorcycle and then drive it to Mexico and go surfing there, bro. Think about how much it costs to pay a month's rent. This place I'm renting right now is like almost $1,000 a month if you count the utilities and all that stuff. Okay? Think about how much it would cost to just literally leave the country and go surfing in Mexico. And find some girl to go with you on your motorcycle and go to Mexico on the motorcycle. Like, that's not that expensive. Those things aren't expensive in terms of money. They're expensive in terms of things you can't quantify in terms of money. Like, you have to be kind of a cool person to find someone else that's cool enough to want to just go on your motorcycle to Baja California and go surfing with you and go stop along the coast and go camping and do things like that. You have to be kind of interesting to even find someone like that, or kind of lucky, or I don't know. You have to be captivating and probably kind of physically attractive if you want to get someone else that's kind of physically attractive. So there's all these layers to that, you know? And none of those things are things you can really buy. Those are things you have to do. You have to, like, become fit, you know, like eat well and do exercise and stuff. And you have to talk to lots of people and become social and do cool things to talk about and like learn how to surf. And those are skills that you can only get if you're unemployed. So when you're unemployed, you're basically buying things that super rich people can't even buy with your newfound superpower, which is unemployment. Like, think about how much money Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos would pay to just be really awesome and like know all these skills and have done wildland firefighting and like know how to surf and just be a cool guy instead of being all sitting there like super autistic and being like, oh, Facebook, oh, and then they don't even understand the jokes people make. Like the Mark Zuckerberg video where the guy's like, give me the Zuck, and he's like, oh, please allow me to, please explain yourself. It's like, bro, if you literally just like were unemployed for a long time and then went to Mexico, you probably wouldn't be so autistic sounding. So basically all of the money that Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos would pay to be cool, you can get in terms of value by just being unemployed. Oh, this is melting. Okay, so you get to be cool by being unemployed if you're not a loser. Like, if you're not just sitting at home playing video games for the entire day, and you actually like learn some things, like, you know, you learn to play guitar and you learn how to speak Spanish and you learn how to like code, or I don't know, like you read random books about different thoughts about things, and then you become wise, you know, and you actually study instead of being in school. When you're in school, you're letting the school get in the way of your education, if you think about it, really. But on top of that, you also have the potential to just become famous. Like, look at these people that are on the internet, that are on YouTube and doing these things. Like, those people are not really that smart, and they're not really that good at a lot of stuff. Most of them are just dumb, and they do something a little bit outlandish, and everyone wants to watch it because they're angry, or because they're excited, or because they want to live through them because they're losers and they're in their mom's basement. So literally, if you're unemployed and you do cool stuff and you just record yourself doing it, there's a pretty good chance that you just randomly make a lot of money during your time. And then you can just tell everyone that you weren't employed. You can just tell everyone that you weren't unemployed. You can tell them that you were actually a businessman of entrepreneurship, if you really think about it. Because you're investing in your own abilities that you can't even buy for any amount of money and you're investing in a random lottery ticket to just make videos about yourself being cool. Look, there's different types of rich people, okay? There's the rich people that are like athletes and musicians and actors that girls would like even if they weren't rich because they're cool. And then there's rich people that are weird and girls wouldn't even like. And they just basically want their money. And the fact of the matter is, if you just become cool and let the money come later, then you won't have to permanently be self-conscious that women only like you because you have money. Because you know you're cool because you were cool first. So basically, become unemployed, become cool, and then get to the point where you're so cool that people just give you money for being cool because they want to watch you do the things that they wish they could do because they can't buy. The problem is that a lot of people don't even know what would be cool to do. Like, they don't have the imagination. Like, my friend Ethan is trying to go to medical school and he doesn't want to take a gap year. And I'm like, why don't you want to take a gap year? You could do all this cool stuff that you're never going to get to do again. You could travel and you can do random things. That would be cool while you're young. But then he's like, I don't even know what I would do. Like, I would just be depressed and not know what to do. And it's like, maybe your desire to be unemployed is what sets you apart because you know what to do, because you have your vision in your mind of your entrepreneurship. This super smart guy that's literally like 99th percentile MCAT test taker, literally has over 4.0 GPA, just can't have the visionary mindset to know what cool things to do during their unemployment, so they refuse to be unemployed, so they're missing out on being cool and then becoming rich because they're so cool. Look, all of your commitments can be put on hold, but your youth cannot be put on hold. Your chance where you're most creative and most adaptable and most fit, and you can do all the cool things like water skiing and regular skiing and wakeboarding and surfing and learning how to skateboard and just doing literally everything, that will not be put on hold, but your career can be put on hold. And then when you invest in all of these things and like learning languages and other stuff, then you can just take that with you for the rest of your life. And it has all of that time to have compound interest of experiences. Because who cares about compound interest of money? Money can wait, you know? But when you can do all these skills and you can use them for your whole life, that is accruing interest on your skills in terms of things that aren't put into money. Everyone has this mindset where they're just so focused on money. But money doesn't even actually represent real value. So many people get rich and they're not even making anyone happy. And so many people spend money on things that don't even give them any enjoyment. Like, think about how many people just spend money and then they become alcoholics, or like they become addicted to gambling or whatever. Like, they didn't actually get any value from that. They just became depressed. But like, you could just spend way less money and go to another country and go surfing for a long time. And then like, that would be actual value. But that, all I'm saying is like, don't be employed and probably just spend all of your money on Bitcoin and then leave the United States and go on a surfing trip. Alright, look, this is the motorcycle. Come on now. Come on now. This is pretty cool. This is a pretty cool Mr. Motorcycle that we got going on here. Look, think about it like this. The more you're unemployed, the more you're using the things that you're spending money on. Like, when you're unemployed, you are using all of the value from your rent to live in your house. And you're using the things you own more because then you're biking on your motorcycle more. Look, when you're unemployed or you're in school, you're letting other people try to decide how good you are at whatever it is, for whatever job it is or whatever thing. You're putting that in the hands of someone else. And probably they escaped from the business school with crayons in their mouth on the way to that job. Because all of those bureaucracy jobs are full of dumb people, bro. They like are just eating crayons in the ivory tower, and then they're like making tests and all this stuff to like determine if you're going to be a good doctor. And it's like, look, how I answered the ethics test questions of like John and Jill, who are in an argument over who's on their phone during the work project, doesn't even matter to be a doctor. Or like, you know, and you're working at an ambulance company and they're just like, have paperwork that you're supposed to fill out when you could just have them sign on the iPad and everyone is just super inefficient and bad at communicating. And it's like, why are you letting those people decide if you're good at things? Instead of being unemployed, hear me out, being unemployed, and then when you're unemployed and you're doing your own skills, you assess yourself to determine if you're good at those skills. Like, you make a business, and then if it's making money, then you're good at it. And no one else is even involved that's being dumb and slowing you down, you know? Like, you just become an entrepreneur where you also happen to also be unemployed. And that's pretty much all there is to it.